Book of Psalms for a while, probably everyone, because it's just so extensive, and I just always pull in these nice little excerpts from you. But Psalm 71, 15 to 16 says, I will tell everyone about your righteousness. All day long I will proclaim your saving power. Though I am not skilled with words, I will praise your mighty deeds. O sovereign Lord, I will tell everyone that you alone are just. And today I'm grateful for life, health, strength. Grateful for the opportunity to be in the land of the living. Grateful for my wife. Grateful for my children. Grateful for my friends, family, colleagues, customers. Grateful for everyone on this blessed Monday. Um, okay, so in this particular verse, like I always tell you, just be one trigger word will make me save a whole little clip, right? But my trigger word, that's what I can start saying. And my trigger word in this particular part of the scripture was when the author said, all day long I will proclaim your saving power, though I am not skilled with words. And the reason why, you know, I saved that and I looked at it, right? And I said to myself, I said, this was supposedly King David, right? Speaking. And, if you all get a chance, trust me on this one. There is a new series on Amazon Prime Video called The House of David. It's a story of King David. And it's really good. You know what I mean? It's really inspiring. Um, watching David come from being a shepherd boy, into defeating Goliath. But if you're a Game of Thrones fan, you'll really like it because it's sort of set up that same way. The cinematography and all that is similar. But anyway, back to what I was saying is that in this particular um verse, you can imagine David being king, right? And what I always loved about King David is that, and this may have a lot to do with the fact that he came from humble beginnings, right? But he would always humble himself before the Lord. You know what I mean? Like he made some errors, during his his stint as king, but when you read the Psalms, like he humbles himself to God a lot, you know? And in this particular scripture, he says, all day long I'll proclaim your saving power, even though I am not skilled with words. And what I got out of that was that just try anyway. You know, like you may not be good at praying, but pray anyway. You know, you may not think that you have enough to give, but give anyway. You know, you may think that you about to give up or something, but just keep going anyway. Like he just saying that at the end of the day, like when you have this faith in this relationship with God, like just do it anyway. Even if you think that you don't have the strength to do it, even if you think that you don't know how to do it, even if you think that, is you alone, just do it anyway because God is faithful and God is just, you know? And he is saying that, um, if you continue on in the verse actually, right? Hold on a second, because I wanted to read. He said, "Oh God, you have taught me from my earliest childhood, and I constantly tell others about the wonderful things you do. Now that I am old and gray, do not abandon me, O God. Let me proclaim your power to this new generation, your mighty miracles to all who come after me." And he like in this verse, like he he's saying that he just can do it anyway. Like he can just keep trying. Like he can keep going after it. He can keep saying until that he grows old, and he like even though he knows within himself that I feel he should know because he says it a lot too that God won't abandon him. He still asks God for that grace and that mercy. He still says, like, God, don't leave me in your side. But it's almost as though, like, he's reiterating to God that he's not going anywhere. You know what? That he's reminding God that, look, yeah, man, I'm not going anywhere. So please don't abandon me. But then he also shows us, the readers, that he is human just like us. You know what I mean? That he's vulnerable, that he has questions as well too. And I think that it's okay to drop your guard around God. It's okay to let him know that, hey, listen, God, I can go ahead anyway, but deep down inside, like I'm afraid, but I'm going to do it anyway, you know? So anyway, I won't talk too long since my baby and my wife them already up and I gotta go and give her a hand. So again, thank you everyone for the opportunity to speak today. And like I said, I think the trigger words for me this week is just do it anyway. Just if I afraid about something, I just can do it anyway. You know, if I feel like if I don't feel like praying, I can pray anyway. So I can pass my mic on to my sister Levette. That's the morning, Levette.